that, I would come to and take a deep breath, like, what the hell is going on? And then I would go right back into it, and then the lady would be holding something in her hand, like she was still in the same position of pointing at the table. But I could never tell what was in her hand, or I couldn't tell what was on the table she was pointing at. So obviously I'm thinking that she probably grabbed whatever she was pointing at and holding it in her hand, but I still couldn't see it. But I could see the lady like I'm looking at anybody now. You know, I've seen her clear as day. I woke up the next morning and I'm like, dude, it's like the most extreme. I mean, this happened like 10 to 15 times, that same vision, but it was one time it was the table, the next time she's holding something. Well, I wake up the next day, I'm drained. I message you guys immediately. I'm like, listen, I was like, I don't know what the hell happened last night. I am totally drained, and I know I was watching her and I was seeing her, but it wasn't me. It wasn't the eyes of me that I was seeing it through. It was like I was looking through her eyes in third person. If that makes sense. And well, I wake up and I do not feel myself at all. Like, I message you guys and I even joke. I'm like, hey Josh, what if that's your aunt that is, you know, trying to get in touch with you? But prior to that, I explained this lady's probably anywhere from 5'2" to 5'4" or something like that. Heavy set, probably, I don't know, anywhere from 170 to 190 pounds. 90s hairstyle, but kind of, I just explained what I saw, and he sent me a picture of his aunt, and dude, to a T, that is her. She's looking right at me. I've never seen her before in my life until he sends me that picture. And, like, I'm not psychic. I don't claim to be psychic. I am empathic, and I am medium. You know, that's why some of our sessions are way more different than others. But I'm not psychic. But I will tell you, that's what I think a psychic does. You know what I mean? When I watch psychics on TV, or people say they're psychic and they're doing all these cool things that are unbelievable sometimes, that's what I picture in my mind that they do. I see them seeing an action of a spirit, or the spirit's showing them, like, you know, like it's like I'm looking at somebody else. And it was just totally like that. So maybe I did have a psychic experience, but it's weird, because when I told Josh, hey, I was joking. I was like, what if that was your aunt trying to get my attention? And this is prior to me even knowing what his aunt looked like. And I personally wouldn't joke about that. Like, that's kind of messed up. I immediately, after I sent that message, I was like, yeah, that wasn't me either. So I'm thinking that she was still kind of making decisions on how to relay it to Josh. Like, it was weird, man. It was so weird, bro. I don't even understand. I still don't understand.
That is very weird. Sorry for the dog barking in the background.
It's all right. Well, at least he's there barking, you know. At least he's doing better, man. It's awesome.
That's actually my other dog, but yeah, he's here, all right. Bastard. I was kidding. But yeah, that's an insane experience, and that's similar to some of the other experiences that you've had that we talked about on YouTube those couple times. Like that one where you started getting really hot, and you felt like you were burning.
Right. Yeah. We were doing we were helping with an unsolved murder case. Well, it wasn't an unsolved murder. We were just helping locate the body, and I think it was the second session, babe. The second session, right as we were getting ready to go to sleep, man, again, it happened in a blink of an eye. Like, something hit me. I started to shake uncontrollably, started to contort like I was in the fetal position, shaking horribly. All my muscles, every single muscle in my body was twitching and contorting, and I felt like I was burning, and I kept seeing what looked like a blanket in front of my eyes, and I felt I couldn't move my arms, like I was wrapped up in something. Was extremely hot. This went on for like 20 minutes, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I actually feel like I got to experience somebody dying by being wrapped in like a blanket or set on fire. I felt like I was at the bottom of a mountain. It was so weird, bro. Like,
it's
I don't
intense.
sit there and have experiences like that all the time. But yeah, it was wicked. I immediately messaged the lady or contact in Arizona, and she said that there was another famous medium, she didn't say who, that works with them, and they said the exact same thing. Like, they felt that she was wrapped in a dog blanket.
Wow.
There was hints to, but they don't know. I could be totally wrong. But I'll tell you, man, it was so weird. It was, that experience it validated to us what we thought happened to her. You know what I mean? The stuff
Definitely.
we were getting through and stuff, it's just nuts, dude. That stuff's crazy, but it's all part of what we do. I mean, Tari's cried, bawled her eyes out. I mean, I've cried. We don't even know when it's happening sometimes. You'll feel tears running down your face, and you're like, what the hell? I mean, it's not even your tears.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Definitely, I agree. So,
Josh, what's your take on all that stuff that's happening? With what happened with what I think is your aunt coming through, and all the stuff going on in your house. What do you think we should do next? What's your next step?
We've talked a little bit about getting something going on here at the house. So I think that's something I'd like to really jump into. Get you, me, and Tari together, and really get in here and ask some questions. Some things. I think the three of us together generally, we have a good energy that goes on, and we get pretty decent results. I'd like to do something like that and just see what really comes through. I think when I did it the other day, or when I had done it a couple of days ago, I guess the events prior to that day, were kind of ramping up. Just the activity in the house itself, and I could feel my own energy drain just from those couple of days, and doing it. I couldn't shoot.
Whenever you did those sessions to just get an idea of what's going on in your house, did the activity kind of die down a little bit?
Yeah, actually, after I used the box, it was a couple days before I really anything else had gone on. One thing that's always happened when it comes to my attachment is, and it's been years that I've always had this. It's a crying. I hear crying at night.
Wow.
Like to the point where I wake up and I go in the room and wake up my wife. I don't know, and she gets annoyed. And there's even times where I'm like, I know it's that, but I still go up and check. We don't have a kid or anything like that in the house, and it's happened with previous girls I've been with. It's been like that at friends' houses.
So at different locations too.
Yeah, so it ramps up. It was really getting, loud. Like, it was no longer sounding like it was in another room. It was sounding like it was, really close to me in the same room. But it's kind of in your head, just a bit louder. And then, like I said, the doors and the lights and, smells even, all the way up until the stuff that was moved. And, some nightmares and stuff where I think were associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I did the session, like I said, just real drained and did it. And, after that, and I think a lot of it was that the message was at least prevalent and came through. It was real relevant stuff to what I was asking. It was incredible.
Yeah, I really think that it died down probably because it might be collecting energy, but I also think that it died down because each time it had a message, and I believe when you offered the ghost box, it was able to give you that message. And then I was suffering so bad yesterday morning. It was horrible. Actually, all day, but it was really hard in the morning. And once I spoke to you and voiced to you what happened, to you, Terry, Alex, but to you mainly because I think that's what the focus was on, even when I was joking. But as soon as I did, man, it just totally changed. Like it was done. Like it did what it had to do. It used me to communicate to you. It got it done. It's gone. So whatever, whatever's still pulling at my energy is just residual. It isn't there anymore. So I believe that that's part of it as well. So we'll see. I do believe that that something else will happen if we don't at least listen a little bit more, just to see what's the best route. But yeah, it's definitely something that we need to follow up with because, for one, I can't let spiritual energy do that to me without my permission because, dude, that was just, I told Terry, I was like, I can't do that. That would actually kill me. The way that it comes, it's unlike any paranormal hangover I've ever experienced, and I've only experienced this type of shit 2 or 3 times, and I'm telling you, it would actually physically kill me. I don't know how. I can just tell, when you're not feeling good, and not just spiritually, but all the way to the bone, man. Mm-hmm. It's not good, And I would be able to protect myself a little bit more if I can get that aspect under control a little bit. I need to figure that shit out ASAP if it's going to happen again. I agree.
Yeah, because I have heard stories of, people having all kinds of health issues and stuff after doing a lot of this stuff, things like that. I mean, I guess it's hard to, relate it to that, but I definitely think it's possible just from what I've felt from investigating.
Yeah, I just want to maintain all control, and that's, that's something that we need to focus on immediately because, it's definitely, the more we do this, each time is more strong. It's we're not just getting words anymore. Most of the shit that comes through our boxes are sentences in the same vocal tone. That takes a lot of energy, you know what I mean? Whether we're stronger or whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, that stuff is pulling on us crazy to get that type of communication.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. That means it's offered to them. That's what we need to get control of.
Yeah.
And, get a handle on it.
For sure. So what's some future plans you guys have aside from Josh's house? Any other locations or anything like that you're gonna hit?
Yeah, we're going to hit up the Speakeasy, not too far from our house.
Nice.
I need to get up there and talk to the owner, but we should be able to get. We were already in discussions with her, and then I lost her contact information in my old phone, so I just was like, you know what, I'm going to get a hold of her again and go over the same things with her and get an overnight investigation on a Sunday.
Awesome.
Pretty Boy Floyd.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna do a full documentary. We're gonna talk to the old people that were in the town. We're going to hopefully spend the night in the same place where they held his body, where thousands of people walked in. It's currently a bed and breakfast. They have his death mask there in the basement, and then they also have. One of my personal friends that worked with me at GE. His father actually owns one of the death masks, which is random because I was talking to him. He's like, my father owns it. I'm like, what? And there's only 3 or 4 of them that were made. So it's so random. I have access to 2 of them, so it's sweet. We got that. Our property, there's so much going on down there. We have the Indian burial mounds. What else? We have that altar. There's also, from what I understand, from somebody that we just learned on the other side of our property, there's this huge stone circle. It's been there as far back as, it's almost like something you would picture